Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, wherever you are, whenever you are. Thank you for watching my videos. I'm here joined with Inti Campo.
Hello people, how are you?
And today we fixed the problem with the lagginess. What was happening is that my producer, Christian, who's in my ear right now, he was looking directly on my screen, and we were had this application in order for allow him to do so. And that took up a lot of bandwidth. So we've now corrected that. And so we're happy. Hey, Chris, you're going to have to turn it down a little bit because it's I could hear it in my ear. So maybe you're going to have to use headphones or something like that. I don't know. Anyways, today we're going to be talking about, you're going to be doing our regular TA both on Bitcoin and Ethereum. I really think that Bitcoin is due for a bounce here. And it's gonna be an interesting trade. It's gonna be kind of scary, but an interesting trade. We're gonna be talking a little bit about that, and we've already mentioned it in our chat group. Inti was a little quick on the gun, but he's learning, right? So, anyways, also we're gonna be talking about how you could lose like $16 million worth of Bitcoin in an instant if you're not careful. And we're going to go over that. Also, I'm going to be looking for a moniker, right? We're going to be talking a bit about that as well, along with Pandora's wallet and my Davinci J15 token. Okay, if that's interesting to you and you're all excited and pumped about Bitcoin like I am, look forward to the rest of this show. All right, Inti, don't you have a few words for everyone watching right now?
Of course I do. As always, people, it's worth to remind you that this video is for entertainment purposes only, and this is not a financial advice. Please do your own research before putting any of your hard-earned money on the market. I always say a financial advice and not financial advice. I have to change that.
Yeah, sorry. Yeah, your Spanish is coming through. That's why. Alrighty, let's head over to the charts for today. Today you can see that this morning as we broke down a little bit, and you can see that Bitcoin looks like it's going down, right? And who knows, is it going to break through? I don't think so. I think that we're going to get a bounce here. I could be wrong, right? I could be wrong, and that's what you have to accept as a trader, that you can't be right 100% of the time, right? So what you have to do is make the best trade you could possibly make. And one of the things I do is what's called a Hail Mary trade, right? Last night, Inti was looking for a trade, and I told him, hey, don't chase this thing. Just set the fibs, enter at the 50% or the 61.8, and that's it, right?
Guess what I did? I chased.
Yeah, exactly. Right? It's right here, right? This is where I told him to enter, right here or right down here, and that's it, right? And don't worry about if the market takes off on you, right? And that's it. I said don't even bother anything else. But he was so obsessed with the fact that this thing was turning around that you could easily just go, okay, it's gonna take off. I better buy at the breakout level, right? Because there's a breakout level right here. If we're looking at the 5 minute, let me just go to the 15 minute because it's a lot faster. So we go to 15 minute. The breakout level is approximately at 10,342, right? So that's if you're a breakout trader, that's correct. You should be buying that breakout, but I don't, because this is what generally happens. I don't like breakout trades at all, right? Because they always make you sweat. They make you work for it. So it's not. I think more often than not, they make you work for it. So that's why I avoid breakout trades like the plague. Now, as you can see, if we do a Hail Mary trade, like if I saw this this morning, right? When I saw this morning, I was like, okay, Hail Mary trade, right there, and look what happens. A Hail Mary trade is what I call a Hail Mary trade, is where I let the market come back to the 78.6, and I put my buy order, and then I just pray. Hail Mary, Mother of God, pray for us sinner from now from the next time. And then I take the stop loss at the local low from the Fibonacci retracement sequence right here, and you can see like so far it looks good, right? So this is the normal trade I would normally make. Didn't make this trade, did not make this trade, but it's still good. It's just that it's you'd go 3-to-1 on this one, right here, and or you can do a 2-to-1. It doesn't matter. And then you would set your stop loss to half or break even, and let's see how far this thing could run. I really think that this thing could probably run, so I would take a little bit of profits at this take profit zone and see how far it would run. And that's what I would normally do if I was day trading all the time. I am not day trading all the time, I'm sorry to say, because it's too much. I've got too much on my plate and I can't do it. So I prefer to do the little old lady strategy. And if you want to learn how to do the little old lady strategy, you just head over to www.davincicodes.net/videos. And that's where you find that the little old lady strategy. And yeah, that's a way. That's the way you could always learn how to invest properly and actually invest in such a way. The little old lady strategy is one way to invest properly and not have to worry about, oh my God, is this trade gonna work this time? Oh my God, am I gonna get stopped out? I don't know. And then it just you just like set it and forget it with the little old lady strategy. All right. With that said, let's head over to Ethereum and see what's going on over here, because I'm not sure what is Ethereum up to. I did not look at Ethereum. Ooh, wow, what a hammer candle. Wow. Like, oh my goodness, this looked like if it just broke this top of this candle, that meant that was very bullish. Even if it came back down, it was if it broke the top of the hammer candle, that would absolutely be seriously bullish. Unfortunately, it did not, so we can't really say that it's bullish just yet. That's a target for a bullish continuation, but again, I don't take breakout trades, but that's where you know that, hey, you know what, if you can find some sort of trade that has a target above that, you know that you can let it run. That's a positive thing, right? So zooming down to the 4-hour first, right? You can see, oh boy, what do we see here? No, what do we see? We don't. The reason why I'm getting upset is because it probably means that if this breaks, it probably means that it's going to take Bitcoin with it. That's why I'm a little upset. And what do I see? Can anybody tell me what I see here? Let me see how far behind you guys are. Oh, don't tell me we're not in live. Okay, thank God. Okay, so how many are you here? There's 654. Can any of you guys see what I see? I'm waiting. I'm gonna wait. I'm gonna wait until you guys tell me in the tech chat box, and I don't see anybody saying anything. Bueller. Yes, that's right. Thank you, Mandan. Sorry, gotta learn how to read. Jeff, thank you, Jeff. Thank you, Phil O'Malley. Thank you. Yes, that's correct. We do see an M here. And what do we say when we see an M here? Right? When the market smiles at you, right?
It's ready to take your money.
Exactly. So,
that's bad because Bitcoin, XRP, and Ethereum is usually very correlated. So if Ethereum goes down, I can expect the same for Bitcoin.
Exactly. That's why I was like, no. But the positive thing is that we have to break down past this line here, which is also with the trend line, this long-term trend line. So it's going to be hard pressed for it to do so. And so you could always do this. You could always do the same Hail Mary trade on this as well. Now you can notice that the good news is that it's oversold. So on the 15-minute, that's always a good thing. Let's go down to an hourly. Not quite oversold, but let's just see on the 4-hour. Was it oversold? No. So it's still got some more room to go down on the hourly. But let's take a look at the fibs to see if it bounced off of any kind of particular fibs. And I think it might have been off the 61.8. Oh, yes. Yes. And you know what they say, right? Mountain Man always makes money, right? So, I wouldn't be surprised if Mountain Man gets paid on this one. And should he get paid, that means, we can probably break out. And if all we have to do is break out of this level here, let me just edit this. Take this off. Okay, and put it. So if we break the 361, alrighty. Well, maybe we could actually do a little bit less lower. Actually, maybe even breaking the 356 is probably a possible level to say, hey, you know what, we're breaking out of here. All right. With that said, let's go on to the main topic of today, which is, there's a person who lost a lot of Bitcoin, and let me see if I've had the video. I had the what's it called? The link up, but here. Let me just find it again. We have it here in the show notes, so just look in the description below. And where is it? Oh, I can't find it. Oh no. Well, I could have swore I put it here, but it is not here. Basically, let me just look for it. Someone lost 1,400 Bitcoin with Electrum. Someone lost. No. Did I lose the camera? Yes, I did. I lost the camera. Yes, I did. Oh, well.
Oh, the battery died?
Yeah, the battery died because we were trying to record, and I didn't think it was going to hold. But anyways.
Alright, can you use the webcam? It's too late now.
It's already switched to the webcam. I don't know. Or it was always on the webcam, so the battery's dead on that on my camera. Anyways, a hacker behind the 1,400 Bitcoin Electrum wallet was stolen on Binance, and this is not Electrum wallet theft transacted on Binance. Wow. So someone lost 1,400 Bitcoin. That's $16 million because they had an old Electrum wallet. And I have to point out that it's very important that you do not store your Bitcoins on a hot wallet such as Electrum or on your cell phone, right? You don't store that kind of money. If that kind of money is like walking around pocket change money, then fine. You can do that. But I find it hard to believe anyone would find that as walking around money unless you're the Federal Reserve. So unless you're the Federal Reserve, right? 1,400 Bitcoin should not be transferred to anything other than your hardware wallet. And just so you know, there's a back to school sale, right? Link will be in the description to the back to school sale, to the link. All you have to do is head over to ledger.com by typing in into your web browser. There's also a link in the description, but you can also type in ledger.davincej15.com. And you could also get that particular offer of 20% off as well. Now, if you do so and you help out the channel, right? Especially if you are an owner of this Davinci J15 token, you may be getting a portion of the profits that we receive through those links. So, effectively, right? You may be getting your money back by owning some of these tokens, right? So, because I can't promise that I will pay out the dividend, but that's what I'm planning to do, and I can't promise it. And so yeah, check out Ledger, and if you like, if you're not into Ledger and you prefer my favorite a wallet, which is Trezor, you could also check it out. Links in the description below at trezor.davincej15.com, and you will also help out the channel and also help yourself, of course, by supporting the channel if you own the DJ15 token. The Trezor Model T is one of my favorites. The only thing I don't use my finger because I got a fat finger, so I use a special pen to trigger each of the screen because it's a touch screen and I like that. But if you can't afford it, you could always go with a Trezor one as well. Alrighty. So with that said, let's go on to SUSHI swap. We all know, and I don't have the link here. Let's see here. Do we have the link in the description here? The SUSHI swap link? No, we don't. Missing that as well. We'll probably add that in the end story notes. But as you know, with the SUSHI swap, and you know what, we're making changes to this video. So we'll as time goes on, we'll correct some of the problems that we were having here. But we got a new person here, and things are a little bit hectic, but we'll get there. As you know, as most of you know, SUSHI swap, man, went up to like $10, and it was like you're wondering, how is this possible? This coin came out of nowhere as of August 29th, and within 1 week, right, it had a volume of $400 million, and what was it? The market cap was like something like, wonder what the market cap would have been like up here, but that's insane. The market cap right now is 200 million, and that's when we're at almost $2. So you could say that the market cap was like 5 times higher. What? $1 billion? Oh my gosh. So this thing went from nothing to billions of dollars in 2 weeks in the market cap. And you're wondering, how is this possible? Well, because it's something called greed, right? And I understand where this came from, right? A lot of us missed the Bitcoin boat. A lot of us, right? A lot of us out there. Not me. I got in, of course, at $1. But you feel that you don't want to miss the next big thing. And I understand that, right? That feeling, right? But this is where you lose a lot of money, right? When you have this feeling where, hey, I gotta find the next big project. I gotta find the next big project so I can like make millions like Davinci or other people have. And that's not the way to invest. That's not the way to successfully invest. And so this guy, the guy who created this, all he did was like exit scammed you guys. He's saying he's not, but come on. One, he's some anonymous dude, right, on the internet that you don't know his face, you don't know his name, you don't know anything, and you go and buy this token, and you expect it not to be a scam, an exit scam. Obviously, it turned out to be so. And I'm sorry for a lot of people who lost a lot of money doing this. But come on, SUSHI. That should have been your first clue, right? Isn't that right, Inti?
Dude, I remember when you talk about hot dog and you said, oh my god, look what happened. And I said, if I see 2 straight lines, then what he said? If I see 2 straight lines, I'm going to puke. That's exactly what happened. Because when you have a coin that's named hot dog, sushi, pasta, come on, you know what's happening.
Exactly. So I'm just quickly switching I'm trying to plug in the camera here.
Let me help you with that.
Yeah, here. Can you plug in the camera there? Maybe we can get some battery life in that camera. Oh yeah.
It was inside.
Okay, so anyways, moving on to the next subject matter, which is the moniker. Yes. Basically, I'm looking for a moniker for my channel, and some of the names that you guys have come up with, right, is the crypto OG, the crypto legend, the real fake Satoshi. That was actually mine, the real fake Satoshi.
And that's my favorite one.
Yeah, that's my favorite one too. And I'd like to have some suggestions from the group. What do you think my moniker should be? I like OG. It's just that the problem with OG is that it stands for original gangster, and I don't know. There's a lot of gangsters in the crypto universe because, as you know, this guy, the guy who walked away with with $2.5 million when he dumped a Satoshi swap, he is the original gangster. Because that was pure gangster to walk away with so much people's money. So I was thinking about changing it to the original guy instead of original gangster. So let me know what you think, right? And let's head off to the question and the answers for today.
Awesome. Okay, so we have a super chat from Super Google Lee. As always, thank you very much, sir, for your donation. And he asks, if I'm holding my Bitcoin and I'm not selling anytime soon, should I do a leverage short to hedge my portfolio?
Leverage short to hedge your portfolio. Well, that's a complicated thing to do, right? And you can do it. You just need to know how to do it and where and accept small losses. And the best way to do it, if there's options, and I think there is options, is to buy options. Inti, have you heard of any options on?
Yes, there are options on Bitcoin on debit.
Mm-hmm.
But they have a problem, and is that most of them are extremely overpriced. So, I mean, for what I've heard, there's not much money to make there, and even worse, those options are OBT counter and a European style, which means that you cannot exercise them before the expiry date. So there's a lot of buts that makes it not so good. Not so good as normal traditional asset American style options, which most are overpriced too, but you can find some that are undervalued, or since they are American style, you can exercise them whenever you want, so they're much more comfortable, are much more volatile. Yeah, with Bitcoin, not so much. For what I heard.
Okay, so is there saying the screen's off?
Screen's off?
Yeah, they can't see.
Oh
no! Okay, hang on a second. Let me just see if I can fix that. And there we go. No, that's not working.
Is it because we blanked the camera?
There we go. See if that works. Hopefully this works. All right. So options. Well, let me just explain a little bit about options. Right, and options are basically allowing you to bet against the market so that you can offset losses. So, for example, if you buy a put option because you feel the market is going lower, right, you don't have to pay. You don't have to like lose a lot of money when you purchase an option. So for example, in general, options are very, very cheap. It's like a leverage bet, but your losses on the leverage bet are fixed, meaning that you know exactly how much you're going to lose. Should prices go higher, right, and not go lower. And so that's a lot better than an actual leverage bet. So that's why I strongly recommend options. But again, like NT said, the European options may not work very well for you, and because of the list of problems that they have. So because of the complex nature of that, I have to say that I have to recommend that you not use leverage or options at this time. All right, let me just try switching back and seeing if you guys have the screen.
I assume I don't have to mention that was not financial advice.
Exactly. Exactly. All right, next question.
Next question. So we have a question regarding Mountain Man. Let me see if I have it here. Okay, I don't. It's up here. This is from Remington Sina. And Remington Sina asks, can you please ask Davinci that Mountain Man buys at 61.8, but when does he sells after he buys there?
That's a good question, right? And he usually does a 1-to-1 ratio with the 78.6, but that's always a tricky one, right? So you have to Mountain Man's not always right. I mean, there is times when he's wrong, right? And so you have to his general stop loss. Let's bring that up on the screen here. His general stop loss is either the 78.6 or the one level, basically going all the way to 100% here. So that's a large movement of stop loss. It all depends on, of course, where he predicts his target is, and generally, because the only thing he doesn't have like a target, he doesn't have what's it called? It doesn't look for price structure. It doesn't have a price structure mechanism. It's actually his target is 1-to-1. So that means right here to here. This is how he would take it, and then he would let the rest ride. Then he would take profits on 1-to-1, and then let the rest ride, because he doesn't have what's it called? A clear market structure. Meaning, hey, is there a point where he can actually he can take a decent stop loss on, right? Because if it's too much of a stop loss, like for example, we go all the way to 100% here, right? You can see that the percentage becomes too high of a loss for Mountain Man, and so yeah, it all depends on what he sees in the market. So I don't trade his stop because it's just too much. It's just like, okay, it's just this number and that's it, and then you have to you have to take the losses, and you have these weird kind of stop that don't make any sense. For me, it just doesn't make sense. This method of trading doesn't make any sense to me, but it seems to work well for him. He makes money from it, so more power to him. So, and you know what? As a trader, you don't have to be right more than 55% of the time. That's all you need, 55%, and you have to be able to accept your losses. And if you do that 55% of the time, and just keep at the market over and over again, on an average, you will be a winner. It's the same way that a miner does, right? There's times where a miner will not find a block for days, right? But it doesn't matter, because on average he will have a specific number of blocks being found on average. It's really difficult to sit there for a while, and there'll be times where you're just like, oh, I'm hitting a loss after loss after loss after loss, and then 3 wins and then loss, and then win, and it just becomes very painful for most people. And so when they see losses stacking up, but the overall view of your portfolio is what you need to do to keep a lookout, and it's very very difficult to do, because everyone wants to be right 100% of the time, and they really can't handle being wrong any amount of time.
Then you see people like Gan that had 92% of success rate. And you say, oops, so it is possible, but how many people can do the study that he made?
Yeah, Gan's a little bit more complicated. So
yeah.
Gan study.
Remember that in his time, they say they use witchcraft.
Yeah, exactly. Gan is if you guys want to learn how to do Gan studies, that's over the top for this for our YouTube channel. So you would have to head over to the Rational Investor, right? If you want to learn how to use Gan, it's advanced studies. Not everybody can pull it off. And if you wanted to do that, you can head to the rationalinvestor.com, davinci15.com, and this is where I learned how to trade. This is where I learned all the advanced trading techniques, and you can do so as well.
Okay, so we have a question from Mr. Kev Allen, and Kev Allen asks, in the unlikely event that Bitcoin has a fundamental problem, which you said you seem to be the case around 5K, which cryptocurrency do you think will replace Bitcoin as a leader?
In the unlikely, well, first off, here's the thing about fundamentals, right? Fundamentals don't translate into price right away. So, for example, let's just say there's a fundamental flaw that's discovered in Bitcoin. And let's just say it was I don't know, the private key, the what's it called, let's just say it's the PGP or what's it called, ECDS, the encryption that does the public key private key, basically, and that was broken. Let's just say that was broken. Immediately, there'd be a big dump, but it would probably not go all the way to 5,000. It will. What would happen? It would probably go to 61.8, and then bounce from there. Right? And you'll be like, "What? Encryption's been broken. What's going on? That's a fundamental change. Why is the price going higher?" Well, because again, fundamental analysis, right, does not give you the full picture, right? And so the market will bounce at the 61.8 because that's a target that most traders will be buying it at, regardless of fundamentals. And so you won't see that happening until it's further later down the line. So the price being affected until further down the line. So you wouldn't have to worry about that, a fundamental analysis. So for example, at first, let's just say it did come out, you'd see a dump, then see a bounce, and then you'd sell that based on the fundamental analysis, right? But in that case, that what I would be doing is be buying that dip, that 61.8. The reason why is because the encryption was designed, the whole Bitcoin's encryption was understood to be one day would be broken, and that will just it can be replaced easily, and most people don't know that. And so I would be buying on that fundamental news, and everybody freaking out. It'd be the best thing that ever happened since sliced bread. All right, next question.
We got to answer some questions from Twitch. Don't you think?
Yes, definitely.
So we have a question from Sagarot Chayani. Sorry if I pronounce your name badly. This person asks, "Hey, DA15, can you help us understand the basics of Bollinger Bands?"
Bollinger Bands. Yes, I can help you understand the basics, the very basics of Bollinger Bands. Basically, it helps you determine when the market is overextended or is about to make a very large move. The overextension is basically because Bollinger Bands are basically an average between the mean, and the market stays within those that inside the bands between the green and the red line 95% of the time, probably even more, like in some cases even more, like 97% of the time, but on average 95% of the time, and only 5% of the time does it stay outside of the band. And so you could see that the market is super overextended should it leave the band very, very far. So for example, going back here, right, you could see in this 15-minute chart, it went way too far outside the band. So you could have been going, hey, you know what? That's too far away from the band. I'm going to buy that. And then you can see that it always snaps back and closer to the band. It never really travels that far away from the band. And when it does so, it snaps back very fast. Right? Most of the time, right? Not all the time. Sometimes it can continue going further. But generally, most of the time, that's what it does. And also, I use the bands right to do as accounting to help me determine, hey, when things are overextended. I usually do 3 times over outside the band, and then I say, okay, that's super overextended. I can go the opposite direction. I also use it to whenever the bands close together. Whenever they come close together, it's like a coiling spring, basically. And so the market coils up and then is about to explode. And so you don't know which direction, but it is getting coiled up to explode in whenever the bands tighten up. So that's also important use case for the bands, Bollinger Bands. All right. Next question. Hopefully I switched screens, right? Yeah, I did.
Okay.
And let's do 2 more questions and then call it a day.
2 more questions. Okay. So this one is from EOS, and EOS asks, do you think price control on precious metals is coming during hyperinflation? It was already here, right? From a lot of time ago, you said.
Okay. Price controls. Well, price controls is basically when the government decides to say, okay, well, hey, this is what the price is. But I think it is already here, right? If you look, the Federal Reserve has already committed to managing the price of gold. They manage the price of dollar, right now. So they manage the price of gold because they don't want this canary in the coal mine to start to sing, because this will tell the public that there's something wrong with the dollar should this thing start to explode out of control. And so it's kind of late because already the Oracle of Omaha has already signaled he's the biggest hater of gold, and he's already signaled that he's interested in buying gold, and he's been buying gold stocks, right, for the first time ever. That's a big signal. And so even though gold looks like it's about to break down here, it doesn't matter. These guys have got this thing managed. They're probably going to break it down to retest the breakout level, which is probably around the $18.30 some $33, maybe even further. Let's just go back to daily. So breakout, maybe, let's see here. Is there another breakout level here? Let's go to weekly so we can see it a little bit better. Because yeah, I think this, yeah. So let's just say, yeah, it's going to be difficult. I think they're only going to take it down to the $1,800 level is the best it can probably do. And that's pretty decent. That's the last resistance level, right? You can see that from here. And that will help them at least say, hey, you know what, gold's going down, right? They can like at least have the narrative, control the narrative on the news, saying gold's going down, get out now, right? You're near the top, it's good enough, get out, right? then they need to control that narrative, and that's what you can expect once they bring it back down to this around the $1,800 level, which they can possibly do, because remember, on the Crimex they can sell as many contracts as they want. You just can't buy as many contracts as you want, right? It's illegal for you to buy more than 5% of the contracts that are out there, and you will go to jail and do not pass go, and they'll take you there really fast because you're undermining the dollar. All right. Next question.
Okay, next and last, or just next?
Yeah, last question.
Okay, so before going to the last question, we gotta thank the 890 people watching the stream right now on YouTube, and the 23 people watching the stream on Twitch too.
Well,
thank you very much, guys, for hanging out with us.
Thank you very much. I appreciate it.
Okay, so Axlowy in the chat, you just mentioned, you said, what about Pandora's wallet and DA15 token? You said you were going to talk about it.
Oh yes, well we forgot to mention Pandora's wallet. We did talk about Davinci J15 token, and we mentioned that if you buy this token, we will be also you'll have access to a Telegram group channel, which only for people who hold a token, any amount of the token, and then also for Pandora's wallet, right? There is a 50% off on a sale on the Pandora's wallet, and so you'll be able to join our Telegram group where you can see all of our trades that both Inti and I are placing in this little group here that only a few of us have access to. The people who have Pandora's wallet have access to. So yeah, if you're interested in that, subscribe to Pandora's wallet in order to see what we're doing, and also you'll have access to my seeing through this subscriber documents. You'll have access to this document to look at what my assets are, allocations, and see what I'm doing. You see my trades and all that kind of good stuff. It's going to be awesome. It's gonna be awesome if you check it out, man. You will definitely like what you see. Alrighty, I think with that said, thank you very much for that question. I really appreciate it. I was supposed to mention Pandora's wallet, and I totally forgot, and so I appreciate that question. Thank you all for watching. Thank you for liking. Thank you for subscribing. As the channel will be going through some growing pains, and but we will smooth out all the problems. We're trying to get the right equipment here, and we just need a special dummy battery for that camera, and then it'll be good to go. But yeah, once we get them all worked out, I think this channel will be great. Cheers, people.
Bye.
And I forgot to switch back to the screen in order to end the stream. All right, now we're ending the stream.
Oopsies.